I was not supposed to be on that planet. The mission report would later call it a navigation error. A minor drift during routine patrol along the outer colonies. The truth is simpler. I was tired. Tired of polished stations and silent space. I wanted to see something untamed. The planet had no name in our charts. It circled a dim red star and shimmered with violet forests and silver seas. Storms moved across its surface in slow spirals like breathing giants. My ship took damage during descent, and I had to land. The air was thin, but breathable gravity felt light beneath my boots. The sky burned amber as the sun lowered. I remember thinking that if I survived, I would return one day. By Chosai. Did not expect to find a child. I heard the cry. First sharp and uneven, not an animal, not wind, something small and afraid. I followed the sound through twisted trees whose leaves glimmered like glass. The forest floor glowed faintly beneath my steps. In a shallow crater I saw Hershey was small and fragile, skin pale blue, thin veins glowing softly beneath the surface. Her eyes were large and bright like molten gold. She could not have been more than 5 years old. By human measure, 3 creatures circled herd. They were tall and narrow with limbs that bent in wrong directions. Their mouths were filled with needle teeth. I did not know what they were, predators or something worse. I only knew they were closing. Eni carried a standard pulse rifle. I had trained for pirates and raiders, not for monsters hunting a child. The first shot struck one through the chest. It fell instantly. The other 2 lunged toward me. One slashed my shoulder and pain flared hot. I fired again and another body collapsed. The last creature hesitated, then fled into the trees. I let it run. The forest grew silent. The child stared at me. She did not scream. She did not run. She reached out. A trembling Hondi knelt beside her. Her skin felt cool. Her breathing was shallow. A thin line of blood traced her temple. I lifted her gently. My suit scanner showed fractures and internal bleeding. Without treatment, she would not survive the night. I carried her back to my ship. Repairs could wait. I placed her on the medical table and removed my helmet so she could see my face. Human medicine was not built for her species. I adjusted everything to the lowest safe levels. Careful scans, careful doses, slow repairs as passed. She survived the night. When she woke, she watched me in silence. Her eyes followed every movement. I tapped my chest. Daniel. Then I pointed to Hershey, touched her own chest, and made a soft sound like a glass chime. Liru. That was the first word I learned in her language. For 3 days I remained on the planet. My ship repaired itself in orbit through automated systems. I stayed on the surface with her. I hunted small creatures and purified water. Each day she grew stronger. We built a simple way to speak. Gestures, drawings in the dirt, shared food, shared quiet. And the 4th day smoke appeared on the horizon. Her people were searching. Ships shaped like curved blades descended from the sky. Their surfaces shimmered like living crystal. Warriors stepped out, wearing armor that pulsed with soft light. Their weapons hummed with contained power. Saw me standing near the child. They raised their weapons. Lyra walked past Mesh, lifted her hands, and spoke in a clear, musical voice. The warriors froze, weapons lowered. One removed his helmet, his face older yet similar to hers. He dropped to one knither's. Followed. I understood. She was not simply a lost child. She was their princess. They approached carefully. A device translated rough fragments of their speech. She saved her. You fought the hollow. You bled. I nodded. They. Warrior placed his hand over his chest. You are honored. They invited me to their city. I accepted. Their capital rose from a vast plain like frozen flames. Towers curved toward the sky, glowing with flowing light. Bridges arched between structures. Energy hummed softly through the air. I was treated as a guest of high status, given quarters, food, medical care. Scholars came to observe me. Children peeked from behind pillars to stare at the human who saved their Princess Lyra. Visited every day, she brought small gifts: a carved stone, a woven band of silver thread, a flower that glowed faintly in darkness. We did not share many words, but we shared understanding. After 2 weeks, my ship signaled full repair. It was time to leave the palace. Gathered on the day of my departure, Lyra stood at the front, dressed in formal robes that shimmered like dawn. She looked small beneath the weight of her title, knelt before her. Stay safe. She pressed her forehead gently against mine. Come back, she said, in careful, broken human speech. Promised I would. Try. Then I left. Years moved quickly. Space does not pause for memory. I served on distant fronts, escorted colony ships, fought pirates in outer systems, lost friends, gained scars. Yet I never forgot the violet forest's news from that sector was rare there. Civilization remained quiet and distant. One day, a secure message reached my command terminal. It carried a royal seal. I recognized an invitation, the coronation of Queen Lyra. I stood once more in dress uniform. My hair carried more gray, my shoulder ached. In cold weather, I boarded a diplomatic vessel bound for her world. From orbit, the planet looked unchanged, violet and silver beneath a red sun. The capital had grown more towers, more light, more strength. Was escorted into the grand hall. Thousands filled the chamber, warriors in crystal armor, elders draped in luminous fabric, citizens from distant regions. At the far end stood a throne carved from radiant stone. She stood before it, no longer a child, tall and poised, blue skin glowing with quiet power, golden eyes calm and deep, a crown of living crystal resting upon her brow. When my name was announced, a ripple passed through the hall. The human who saved the queen. I walked forward alone. She descended the steps. For a moment, the hall disappeared. I saw only a forest and a frightened child. She stopped before Medaniel Reyes. She said in clear human speech, "You returned." I bowed. "Your Majesty." She smiled softly. "Years ago, you stood between me and death. Today I stand before you because of that choice." She turned to her people and spoke in her language. The translation echoed through the chamber. "This human is guardian of the crown. By his courage, our line continues. By his compassion, we learned the strength of humanity." Deep harmonic sound filled the hall, vibrating through my chest. She faced me again. "The hollow gather. Beyond our borders, we will not hide. Will you stand with us?" Once more I answered without hesitation, "Yes." The war that followed tested both our worlds. The hollow were not mere beasts. They were a consuming swarm that stripped systems, bare dark ships moving like plague through stars. This time they met united fleets. Human cruisers formed lines beside crystal blade vessels, soldiers trained together, strategies shared, trust forged. Watched her command from the bridge of her flagship, calm, precise, strong. In the final battle above a shattered moon, the hollow launched their greatest assault. Waves of enemy ships crashed against our formation. Explosions lit the void. My cruiser took heavy damage. Systems failed one by one. A massive hollow dreadship broke through toward her flagship. Fry remembered the Foresti ordered full burn. We accelerated directly into the dread ship. Shields collapsed, hull plates tore free. The impact shattered the enemy vessel. Escape pods launched seconds before my ship disintegrated. Watched fire bloom silently in space. The hollow line faltered. Combined forces surged forward. The swarm broke when I woke in a medical chamber. On her world she stood beside me. "You did it again," she said. Softly I shook my head. "We did it. Peace, fallow treaties signed. Trade routes opened. Our peoples began to visit one another as Alexan. The anniversary of victory, a monument rose in the capital plaza. It depicted a human soldier standing before a small alien child in a violet foresti. stood beside her as citizens gathered you. Changed our history, she said. No, I replied, you changed mine. She looked toward the red star sinking beyond the horizon. Strength is not only power, she said, it is mercy. The crowd answered with that deep harmonic tone. I felt it in my bones years ago. I landed on a nameless planet by accident, left it as the friend of a queen, and this time I knew I would always return. Asterisk.